So today what we're going to do is open a new hive up, see how well they're growing. If they need more room, I'll add another box. I might add the queen excluder so that way she can't come up and lay eggs into honey. So this will act as a honey box. So the first thing is just to get in there and see how she's doing, what pattern she's laying her eggs in, and how well they're growing. So first we just kind of do a puff of smoke. This just helps mask their pheromone, their alarm pheromone that kind of says attack. That's their way of communicating. So the sticky stuff is called propolis, and they harvest that from the cedar trees or the ash juniper trees, and it helps tighten up all the little air spots, the air holes, seals up the hive, but it makes it kind of hard for us to get in the hive. So I'm just going to give another puff inside. We don't want to smoke them too much. Probably pretty good. Scrape some of this stuff off. All right. So this right here, this is called a beetle trap, hive beetle trap. And hive beetles are one of the pests of a bee hive. And so we just keep that full of oil and try and trap the beetles in here. I see just one beetle in here right now. So we'll put that back in. It's doing its job. Right now I see 1, 2, 3 empty frames. So I'm not inclined to give them any more room right now. You don't want to give them too much space, then they can't defend it from the hive beetles and the other pests. So I'm just going to pull a couple of these frames and see how the queen is laying and see if we can actually find the queen. These frames are pretty heavy because they're full of honey. They're full of babies. So one thing that we see is a good pattern of laying. Watch out, little bees. So what you want to see is a nice solid pattern. All of these in here, all of these caps are babies. And same thing on the other side. And you can actually see in some of these holes that are open, you can see little white grub looking things. And those are babies in a different developmental stage. We'll just add a little bit of smoke. Don't see a queen here yet. And I can't remember if she's marked or not. If they're marked, they're usually easier to find. So we just put them back nice and gently so we don't squish any bodies. All the bees that you see in here are all female worker bees. About 90% of the hive are these female worker bees, and they all have different jobs. And their age determines their job. So everybody in this house has an important role to play. The very young ones actually take care of the babies that are coming out. That's burr comb. I'll try and take that off. We usually don't like to see that. Sorry. Kind of want them to do their wax on the frame itself. And there's no babies in that, so that's okay. I see babies over here, no babies over here, lots of capped brood over here. You see some being laid in these empty cells. So overall, I think she's doing pretty well. And this one right here, this cell looks different than the others. That's an actual, where did it go? Right here, this peanut that's popping out, that's an actual drone cell. So the drones are the males. But most of these that are barely popping up, capped brood, those are all females.